Hey, history lovers. Blue here with another This Day in History. Today, we're going back to October 4th, 1957. This was the day the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite, into space. So, what was Sputnik 1? It was a small metal sphere with four long antennas sticking out. It was about the size of a beach ball and weighed almost 200 pounds. When Sputnik 1 went into space, it started sending a beeping signal back to Earth. People all around the world could hear those beeps on their radios. It was amazing at the time because no one had heard a signal from space before. Sputnik 1 was launched during the Cold War. This was a period when the Soviet Union and the United States were in a tense competition. They weren't directly fighting, but they were trying to outdo each other in science, technology, and space exploration. By sending Sputnik 1 into space first, the Soviet Union showed they were leading in the space race, which surprised a lot of people. The United States was especially shocked. They didn't know the Soviet Union was so advanced with rockets. This made the United States worried because if the Soviets could launch a satellite, they might also be able to launch missiles. This pushed the United States to start working harder on their own space program. It wasn't long after Sputnik 1 that the United States created NASA to catch up in the space race. Sputnik 1 circled the Earth at an incredible speed, completing an orbit every 96 minutes. It stayed in space for about 3 months, traveling over 40 million miles before it fell back to Earth. During that time, people all over the world were looking up at the sky, knowing that a human-made object was traveling up there. It was a big deal because it was the first time anything made by humans had ever orbited Earth. And here's something cool. Sputnik 1 had a big impact on culture too. All around the world, people were talking about space. Kids were fascinated, and some wanted to become astronauts. There were even songs and books inspired by Sputnik 1. People began to dream about exploring beyond Earth, and this led to more countries getting involved in space exploration. One interesting thing is that Sputnik 1 didn't really have any scientific instruments on board. Its main purpose was just to show that it could be done. Those beeping signals it sent were more symbolic than anything else, but they made a huge statement. The world was entering a new age, what we now call the space age. After Sputnik 1, the United States launched their first satellite, Explorer 1, in January 1958. This was the start of a space race that led to even bigger achievements, like sending people to the moon. But it all began with that simple satellite, Sputnik 1. So that's why October 4th, 1957, is such an important day in history. It marked the beginning of humans exploring space and set the stage for all the amazing things we've done since. What do you think about space exploration? Do you have a favorite moment in space history? Let me know in the comments. If you're enjoying these historical moments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to help keep the history flowing, consider buying me a cup of coffee through the donation link in the description. It helps keep these stories coming. This is your boy Blue, signing off. Until next time, keep exploring history.